Welcome to Kiwi Bike Browser episode 3, 10th of January 2024. Let's crack straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. Right, to kick things off, we have 8,751 total results. Bit of a sharp increase over the past few days. Seems like people are listing their bikes again, maybe after the holiday break, but that's an increase of around about 300 compared to last time. Kicking things off, we have a bit of a large scoot, the Sim Max. It's very reminiscent of the Yamaha X-Max, I'm not gonna lie, but apparently it's a robustly built bike according to the seller. I'm actually a fan of the larger capacity scooters. I think they make so much sense. If you are commuting to and from, you got to do highway speeds, you got to carry a little bit of gear. It's such a good vehicle, and it's, I guess, relatively fuel efficient, but being a 400cc, it's probably going to have some pep and get up and go. Not too bad. Lambs approved still. $2.5 grand starting price. That is cheap. Cheap as chips. Why wouldn't you? Why would you get a little 50cc thing or a little 150 and you could have that? Fantastic. So this one's based in Christchurch. Lovely flat Christchurch, apart from the Port Hills, of course. So that's got to be good to go. I don't know much about the Sim brand itself, so I'm probably going to do a bit of research after this. Just kind of learn a bit more about who we're dealing with. I suspect they're going to be a Chinese manufacturer or Korean, but I'm none too sure. If you do know, just let me know in the comments. Okay, moving on to one of these electric scooters. Yeah, I'll probably give that one a skip. I mean, I have been curious about these. Again, commuter style bike, but only for short distances, anything under sort of 45, 50 k's an hour. I mean, it's cheap enough at $1,900 at a starting price, but yeah. Kawasaki ER6N, now we are talking. We're talking cream of the crop, Lambs approved, parallel twins here, and Kawasaki did a wonderful job on the ER6. Brilliant looking bike, well performing, very reliable. It's such a great pick. If I was a brand new learner rider and I was looking for a bike and this thing came up, I'll be snapping that thing up straight away. It is absolutely outstanding. What are the Ks on this one? 34,000? Oh, that's awesome. Pretty low Ks. Although, to be fair, they are asking $6,500 or near offer. I mean, that's quite a bit of money for a bike. If we rewind pre-pandemic, I can tell you now this bike would have been $3-4 grand in terms of asking price. But hey, have to accept the certain inalienable truths that prices will rise. Not too bad. Canyon Enfield GPR full titanium exhaust. Oh, that's got to sound good. Brand new front tyre, good to go. New rear tyre, also good to go. New front and rear shocks. New WAF rego until the 5th of December 2023. So that would mean it would be out. Worth inquiring about. Serviced every 5,000 Ks, that's good. And quad lock phone holder for iPhone 11 if you want it. Hey, it's not a decent amount of accessories. I'm curious though what the exhaust would sound like on this thing. There aren't any good side... Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I like that. That looks good. I wonder what the GPR sounds like on these things. It's going to be another research point for me later on this evening, I think. Good bike, well worth getting. But I think they're just asking a bit too much money. If you are curious though, this one is in Helensville, Auckland. Well worth taking a look at though. If you want a good quality learner bike that's going to last you all the way through your licenses and well through onto your full license, this would be my pick. Skip past that 125. The old street dog. These things have been popping up left, right, and centre lately. Don't get me wrong. Amazing looking bike, clean, dual cradle frame, just absolutely flawlessly designed. But it is still a scooter. It's effectively a 50cc scooter. It's electric. It looks good, but for me, it's not great. If I lived purely in an urban area, that would be fine. But I've got 80k an hour roads. I'm rural, so I've got to do 100k's an hour down those roads. All sorts of stuff. So this wouldn't be the bike for me. But if I was living in, say, Wellington, somewhere like Korori and I needed to get up and down that hill every day, or living in central Auckland, but I didn't need to get onto any motorways, even a busy place like Tauranga or Christchurch or any other kind of metro area, urban setting, this would be the pick, because it is a head turner, it is a beautiful bike. I just think it's a bit too much money for a scooter. At the end of the day, that's what it is, it's a 50cc scooter. In any case, moving on. Right, so this is what I wanted to talk about. Turners have been listing a whole bunch of bikes again. I'm not going to go into the same drill fest that I went into last time, but there have been some reoccurring suspects. For example, this SV650 that we had a look around last time, and I couldn't quite figure out what the heck was wrong with it and why it was so cheap, and why was there a CDI just randomly sitting on it. And then I suspected it might be, say, flood damaged or something else. I'm not too sure. But hey, it's still around. Someone surely wants to turn that into a track bike, providing it's a runner. There have been a few extra additions to the same fleet that Turner's bikes have been putting up, but again, I won't go into too much details on those ones. Rightio. And there are a lot. This is what I want to talk about. This is the Noddy bike. Okay, for those of you who don't know, okay, so Noddy car. So Noddy was a character from a TV show that I watched when I was a kid. This is what his car looked like, just this yellow and red and dapples of grey everywhere. It's the Noddy car. This Puch is a Noddy bike. It has to be with that colour scheme and the era in which it is born from. I don't know much about Puch apart from they're either German or Austrian, one of the two. I only know this because the Pinzgauer, the vehicle that the army uses as a general service vehicle, is manufactured by Steyr Daimler Puch. So it's like a subsidiary of companies all put together to make a six-wheeled vehicle. Look at that. It even has... That's a giveaway there. Okay, if it's got a Steyr sticker on it, Steyr Puch, Steyr is an Austrian company. Again, ask me how I know that. It's from the Steyr rifles that the army used to have that were manufactured in Austria. So we have an Austrian motorcycle in beautiful condition, a Noddy style paint job. But this is fantastic. This is beautiful. It's so captivating. It's so eye-catching. I love the design and the style and the flow of the thing. It's half Vespa, half Jawa, with a little bit of Honda CT110 in between. It's just, you can't quite put your finger on it. I would love to get it. Yeah, there we go. So there's the full-on of the headlight with a nice shroud. Look at the handlebars. Look how elegant they are. Oh, this is a really beautiful specimen. And they're only asking $3,500. Yes, it is effectively a moped, 60cc moped. But man, what a fun wee vehicle. Right, I have to take a look at the video. Let's take a quick squiz, shall we? If you weren't extremely happy with looking at that in your garage every single day, I don't know what's going on, but to me that just has so much charm and character to it. What a beautiful bike. I mean, for the asking price, for the quality that it is, I don't know if it's going to be road legal. That's the only kind of catch up there. Is that it might be difficult to get onto the road. I don't know too much about the rulings, but you of course don't see any tail lights here, right? Well, there might be a tail light, but you don't see any indicators or anything else. So I would do the research about, there's a table of rules in the NZTA site that you can see vehicles manufactured in the state have to have these standards, etc., etc. So you might be able to get away with it, who knows, but yeah, that would be the only thing that would kind of put me off is that, but I'd do my research first. But look, honestly, for $3,500 starting price, that's going on the watch list. It has to. It is a beautiful wee bike. Well done. This one in Christchurch. I just had to point that out.
Second thought, never mind.
Cool.
Things came up.
Alrighty, so now we're looking down at the rest of the list. Cool. KTM 690 Duke. I have owned one of these bikes, and it fits in a really special category of naked sports bikes for me, and that is the, what would you call it? The Uberlight, because it's Austrian, maybe. The Ultralight, yeah, a bit more of a Western twang. I think Uberlight. Uberlight sounds like a bit more interesting. So these bikes are about, 168 kilos? Let me just double check. So they very lightweight tubular trellis frame, dirt bike heritage with a single cylinder engine, a very wide comfy seat, naked styling, modern, fun, agile. I mean, it's so many things put together, and to me it is the ultimate combination of weight and power because it is so lightweight. And I have the answer here. It's got a wet weight of 160 kilograms. 160 kilograms. And you'd expect it to ride maybe like a motard, but it doesn't. It rides more like a good sports bike, but it's so flickable. You can just flow it into the turns. You can stop it on a dime. I believe strongly that the motorcycling experience is made that much richer when you're not having to lug around 220 plus kilograms of motorcycle. There's just something different about that experience for me. Now, things that I didn't like. One, the radiator just had an issue. So I had to look at ordering a replacement one and repairing that. And just the lack of wind protection. If there was something like the 690, what would I call it? Kind of like the RC. You know how you've got the RC 390? But if there was more of a sports tourer orientated 690, and I mean, I know you could say it would be like, the Enduro, that's an adventure bike. But to me, if they took this same platform and just kind of dressed it up a bit, some more fairings, some more wind protection, yes, you do still have to battle with the revs and the vibration, being a single, but it would be such a good bike because it would be lightweight, a lightweight sports tourer. That's what's missing from the market, in my opinion, a uber light sports tourer. But this bike is fantastic. I'd highly recommend getting on one and actually just having a play. They are such fun bikes. I wouldn't be paying $6,000 for it though, not at 66,000 Ks. Price I paid for my one was around about 7, maybe 7.5, with half the amount of Ks on it, and they had an aftermarket pipe. And I put a Kiwi pack rack carrier on the back and a few other bits and pieces, put a screen on it to kind of try and deal with some of the wind issues. So for that money I'd be looking for the 690 Duke R. Now the 690 Duke R is a bit more dressed up and it has a slipper clutch. Well worth getting, because on these bikes, baby, you never need to touch the brakes. Ever. There is so much engine braking potential in these things. It is fantastic. Anyway, well worth checking out. That one being in Waitakere, Auckland. Not bad. Honda CBX 550F. Only 2 years off being a classic bike. 550cc inline 4 in stunning condition with just the most that brake cover, I swear to God, has come out of some kind of movie making workshop where they construct props for like an 80s sci-fi film. You know what I mean? It's the equivalent of whatever Star Wars had going on at certain points in time when they needed to make various Star Wars type machinery or what have you. It's just, it's interesting. That line, that kind of similar design elements flow through to the rear as well, and the wheels. Man, it's actually got that retro charm to it, eh? I like it. It's... Okay, so there's a lot going on. So first and foremost, we have this cool 80s kind of cyberpunk vibe to some of the design cues. We have the largest indicators I've ever seen on a motorcycle. And we also have a cowling that's reminiscent of a BMW K100. But it kind of sits in a strange category of a slight bit of maybe British cafe racer influence. I don't know. And then we have an absolute network of header pipes. Looks like some crash bars there too, which is cool. But man, what a cool bike. 1986 being the year of manufacture for this baby. I mean, I would own it. It looks cool. It looks cool. That to me is what classic bikes from the 80s should look like. You should be able to look at it and tell what era a motorcycle came from. And you can tell without a shadow of a doubt that this is an 80s bike. I dig it. Absolutely dig it. And it's in good looking condition too. Wait. It is wearing an Integra badge. A Honda 550F Integra. So that means that there's a Honda Integra motorcycle and a Honda Integra car. Oh look, they've done a beautiful close-up for us. I love that design element. I think that is just the coolest thing I've seen. I wish they did outlandish shit like this on bikes more often, you know? It would excite me, you know? We're seeing, I guess, a lot of Japanese anime fighting robot inspired designs from a lot of manufacturers, not just the Japanese manufacturers, but like Ducati, for example, on their Panigale. It's got a very similar look to it. We'll take a look at one later on tonight and tell you what I mean. But in any case, getting back to this one, starting price $5,000. It's 2 years off being a classic bike, high Ks, but it's been well looked after. Says it there. Possibly trade or swap for a van. It's got a shower rear shock. Fuel gauge is intermittent. But I mean, heck, if you know how to read the Odo, then you'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, that is a good purchase. That is a really good purchase. That's one in Rotorua. They have plenty. Oh, why wouldn't you? If you're looking for a classic bike from the 80s, that looks like it's from the 80s, that will keep going for another 10, 15, 20 years, why wouldn't you get a Honda? In particular, why wouldn't you get this Honda? It's bound to be awesome. That gets a bit of a watch list for me because I think that is great. The price is set low, the quality is high. It's what I like to see on Trade Me. Alrighty, we're starting to get towards the wrap up now. Last bike for the evening, Yamaha FZ1. Now this popped up a couple of episodes ago, I believe, and I was complaining about the price of the thing. So yes, you've got some nice aftermarket pipes in it, aftermarket headlight, some stickers on the wheels, but I think the asking price was a bit too much. What I'm not too sure is if they've actually dropped that or not. Reserve not met at $5,000. They may have. It's I probably didn't watch list it last time, but heck, you could go back to the episode and just double check to see what their price was. But yeah, who knows? I mean, it's priced a bit more reasonably compared to last time, I think. Could be worth checking out. Not really my cup of tea though. If I was going to go for a naked inline 4, I would be spending the money and getting a brand new Suzuki 750. Because why not? 2-year warranty, brand new bike, $1,299 plus on-road costs. Why not? And that way all the Ks that are on the bike are my own. And chances are that bike is on the last generation too, the old 750s. Anyway, my beautiful compatriots, it has been an absolute pleasure to have your company this evening. We'll see you next episode.